Well, I think the chainsaw represents a way of dealing with the crisis of neoliberal capitalism, but in a way which is different from, for instance, the border. Because the chainsaw is a kind of promise of uh, total destruction and at the same time of re-empowerment, but not in the sense of a community which is defending themselves from the outside, but it is an empowerment of individualistic, isolated persons who feel they can proliferate in chaos. So the chainsaw does not promise order, the chainsaw does not promise community, and the chainsaw does not promise the ending of crisis. Crisis is not a moment to be superseded, but it is a kind of universal state where the kind of second nature state, where the most powerful ones and the ones able to survive are going to get the best part. And there is a hope, I think, that in a sense, this chainsaw thing, this chaos, has an equalitarian effect. Many people, I think, not only think that chainsaw is going to bring kind of nivellation for everybody, but also a way of a chance to do what you could not do in normality. So they expect something. It is kind of destruction, which supposedly gives us all the same possibilities, which is not true, but also where you the peripheral countries and peripheral groups inside those countries would be able to take what they couldn't in normal times. So that's why I think that it is very different the way in which authoritarianism work in central countries and in peripheries. Because in this case, there's not, for instance, a promise of becoming a great nation, but instead of uh, making ourselves part of this unrepressed capitalism, which is a supposedly global thing where national limits have no meaning. For Milei, national limits have no meaning. He does not believe in that, and he's ready to do all the subordination tests, for instance, toward Trump, towards Margaret Thatcher, there is no this kind of national pride you can see in the North. I think there is a kind of transgressive pleasure in this promise of destruction, which is composed in a complex way with this right to punish others. I mean, of course, some things like self-punishment and punishment of the others still work here, but you should add to that sin this right to kind of euphoria in chaos. It's not only that you are not afraid of crisis, but you expect this crisis to arrive, and this could have a very rational sense for a revolutionary movement. You expect crisis to arrive because you expect to do something to create a new order from there. I think in this case, this euphoria and chaos doesn't have this productive aspect, but instead is a kind of unlimited expectation of omnipotence. It's like an oceanic feeling. There is something of an oceanic feeling here, that they get in love with what they believe to be unlimited, without limits, as a power. For instance, in the dictatorship, and the last Argentinian dictatorship, power used to show itself as unlimited. And I think that gives people a kind of not only fear, but also kind of attraction with this omnipotence, this machine, this omnipotent machine. Well, I think it is very important precisely because power is abstract and overacts the omnipotence. I think we should be very concrete and try to try not to be paranoid and also we shouldn't believe in the omnipotence of power, and we shouldn't believe that power is like that authoritarian power is really arbitrary, because it always hits in the same places. So we should try to be concrete and to make concrete alliances with the people who are really paying the consequences of this system. That's why, to me, understanding continuity is more important than understanding the new, which is supposedly coming here. To understand the limits of power is more important than to understand its omnipotence, and to understand the concrete possibilities opened by concrete cracks is more important than sometimes understanding the systematic or universal, or as you say, global structures of this. Of course, there are global structures, but you also have to, we need to think of the particular combinations in which they work here, because otherwise it's going to be abstract. For instance, if we try to call this populism, it doesn't work here. If we call it a nationalistic drive, it's not going to work here, because they don't behave in the same way. So maybe some words that could be useful for us to make international alliances in an anti-fascist front, paradoxically, they would make us more weak to fight inside. So that is a problem.